doing this meant that I was going to have to expose the most insecure area of myself. Hey everyone, welcome. It is the Find Your Voice show where we are helping Black women leaders to find their voice from the inside out. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You wonder what it was that I was going to do that was going to expose the most insecure part of me. Well, in order to tell you that, I need to first say that this journey of transformation that I have been in and that I know you are ready for, it encompasses so much. And one of the areas I had to dig deep in was asking myself who I was, realizing that much of what I did and many of my habits were based around my discomfort in this particular thing. So the thing I had to do was, or I decided to do, and we're talking over 20 years ago, was when I decided to cut off all of my hair. So many people saw me about 10, 12 years ago, and even 2 years ago. Let's go back to 2 years ago. Like, oh my gosh, you cut off all your hair. But what those who haven't known me for over 20 years, what they didn't know was that journey of cutting off all my hair began in my 20s. So I one day was on the line. I don't know why I remember this. I was on the line at the tunnel. If anyone has been to New York City or had been to New York City during probably the 80s, but I was there in the 90s. I couldn't go there in the 80s. I was there in the 90s, late 90s, and there was a club called The Tunnel. And for some reason, I remember standing online because it was so popular, and there was a long line to get in, and seeing a woman. And it was something about this woman that it clicked, and it was the beginning, right? Because for me, the clicking was about a process that I would then go through. But it clicked that I could only be myself. So I had friends around me who may have been of different complexions, different hair texture, and I tried so hard to be that in my own way. Whatever way I could change it. And what I realized was later on, a couple of years after that, a few years after that, is that I said, you know what, I think I want to cut off my hair. I actually liked how it looked on someone, and I said, I think I want to do this. And it was at that moment then where there was another epiphany moment, because I knew when I cut my hair, the thing that I was most insecure about, which was my face, would be completely exposed. Let me explain to you. Over the years, I've had many different hairstyles, as many of us do as Black women. And I realized that I was hiding behind my braids, my weaves, my relaxers till my scalp was freaking burning. And then I get those doobies where you comb it around and then you kind of have it in your face. My bangs covering my face. Why? Because I was so insecure and uncomfortable with this face, with how it looked, with its complexion, with the hair that went along, the 4C hair that went along with this face. If I cut my hair everyone would now see me. I didn't realize it then, but I can articulate now that this was all about that journey of finding out who I was and finding my voice from the inside out. And there's different levels to this. This has been a process. I have not attained the all out, I can't get any higher. I should be transforming even as a coach. So I did it. I cut my hair for the first time in let's just say in 20-something years ago. And I had to get used to it. Now, I didn't cut it and all of a sudden I was like, I'm liberated. I cut it, and then I had to grow into getting used to that new self. Getting used to showing the world who it is that I really was behind all that other stuff. I'd had a date planned with this guy. I thought he was so cute. Anyway, I had this date planned with this guy, and I didn't want him to come and then be surprised because I just had hair like the time that I met him, and then all of a sudden I had no hair. So I remember calling him and saying, hey, listen, when you come to pick me up, it might be a bit of a surprise because I've cut off all my hair. That jig did not show up. So I got stood up, but it was okay. It was okay. So I want to share with you 3 ways or 3 steps that you can do to find your voice and stop hiding. Before I go on, you need to subscribe and then click that notification button so that you'll know every time a new video drops right here on YouTube. And don't forget to tell another queen. So before I go through the 3 steps in getting uncomfortable, I want to go back and ask you, what is it that you might be hiding behind? Because you're here for a reason. You feel that calling. You feel that need for expansion when it comes to finding your voice and really using your voice to impact the world. However, every time you expand and then you contract, expand and contract, you may be very comfortable where you are because you're kind of hiding. You may be hiding behind your role in your C-suite because you're like, I do want to talk, but I'm just a little bit too busy right now. To all of you who are too busy to really find that voice so you can start that journey of transformation, lean in. Come close to this face that I was scared of. It's not true. It's a false. The being too busy it's about hiding. It's about not that thing it's moving beyond the comfort zone, and so therefore that too busy serves as an excuse. You may not be conscious of it like that's what it is, but I'm telling you now, so now you're conscious of it. What are you going to do with it? You may be hiding behind your business. You're very successful. And you may be saying, it's too busy because I have too much to do. I really can't take this journey of transformation. I really want to. It's so important to me, but I can't really do that right now. Really? Because I'm going to tell you the same thing. That expansion that you feel, that is your calling. The idea, the need, the desire to find your voice is because it's time for you to transform. Yet that idea of being too busy with your business, queen, I'll just call it a subconscious excuse. It's a farce. It's a lie. It's an illusion. You do have time. Do you want this? Do you want this? If so, stay with me. Oh, my glasses just got dirty now. We're going to have to read without them. These are the 3 steps. This is simple, so I dare you to do them. Step 1, decide on doing something uncomfortable. Now, there are ranges of being comfortable and uncomfortable, but make a decision to do something that is uncomfortable. I explained to you that for me, in this example, the uncomfortableness was exposing my face, so it was cutting my hair. That may not be your journey. I am not pushing that as your journey. What will be the first uncomfortable thing that you will do? Make a commitment and write it below or type it below. All right. Did you get that? Now, number 2 is to journal how it feels or how it felt. Number 3, I want you to do the uncomfortable thing over and over and over again. And for each time you do it, journal how it felt. This part is really important because what you should see over time is the progression of your becoming more comfortable with the very thing that was uncomfortable. So I know we hear about, 21 days forms a habit. I'm not going to do the 21-day thing. It's too formulaic in this case. I'm going to say do it until you feel differently and you no longer have that discomfort in doing what was uncomfortable for you, where no longer is it even uncomfortable. It's just a part of you. For some of you, it may be 5 days. For some, it may be 30 days. For some, it may take a long time. It's okay. This is about progress. It is about a process in your growth of transformation. Do it. Comment below about what you're going to do and your observation in doing it. So what happened in my life is that I cut my hair that one time when I was in my 20s. And then I've done it about 3 times since then. Those of you who really know me, you know that right now it's the longest it's been in so long because now I am addicted to this. And by the way, in between I've gotten my weaves, my wigs, my relaxers, you name it, I've gotten it. However, when I got it again, I felt so differently because I was then liberated. I was liberated. I was no longer in hiding. I was just in a hairstyle because I became comfortable with who I was. Queen, stop hiding, make a commitment, do something uncomfortable, and then subscribe and like this video. Mwah. Until the next time.